Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms, and these are Charter Moms chats. And we've been going live to help families get the information they need to help their kids get a great education in San Antonio. And this time of year, we feature our enrollment guide blog post. And today, the post we featured on our site is the guide to enrolling in the CAST Schools Network. And this is a set of partnership schools, partnerships with different independent school districts around town to create high schools that are relevant to careers that are in demand in San Antonio. And there's also a pre-K through 12 academy called Advanced Learning Academy. So, and who better to talk about CAS schools than actual students? So I'm really lucky to have a panel of students with us today. So let me introduce them. So let's see, below me is Xitlali. Did I get it right? Xitlali. Okay. And Xitlali Hernandez, and she is a senior at CASTEM. And then let's see, next to me is uh, Joseph Guerrero, and he is at Advanced Learning Academy. And then in the bottom corner is Michael Hetler, who's a junior at Kest Tech High School. So thank you guys for joining me, and I'm looking forward to the conversation. Okay, so let's see, Michael, go ahead and unmute yourself. You're going to be on deck. Um, so I want to ask you to talk about sort of what is CAS schools and kind of what's the like big picture, like mission and vision of CAS schools.
So I think that it's a lot of things. I think one thing to kind of just sum it all down, um, I think they try to bring the community together and just create opportunities for their students. I know since I've been here 3 years, I was a part of, kind of the first four classes we had. When I got here as a freshman, the highest class we had was juniors. Um, so as kind of the sorry about that. Um,
It's okay. It's real life.
as
This is cool. Yeah.
as I was a freshman, I definitely got more opportunities because of there not being, the freshmen through seniors. Um, so I think that they really try to prepare us for college and to give us real life opportunities. I mean, I right now in one of my math classes, one of my teachers is actually taking me to Trinity University here in San Antonio. I really enjoy math. He's taking a smaller group of us, and we are actually going to Trinity. We're going to have to take a class with their like head math board teacher or professor. Um, and we'll get to kind of, talk with some of the other professors from other colleges. And I'll also get to talk with him and just take um, a class with him. And also um, talking, I guess, with internships and testing things out. I've been able, we have mentors here at CAST that you can kind of uh, sorry, I should have started with our pathways are UX, business, and cybersecurity. And so you take all three your freshman year, and then you choose after your freshman year which one you go to. I went business. I enjoyed that side of it most. Obviously, as I spoke earlier about the math, kind of ties in with that. And so from there, I got to tailor it to the mentors that I got to pick. I've gotten to meet a lot of very nice people that have told me and given me advice on where, kind of next steps on, colleges, whether it be college or just what I want to do after college. Um, and we have Mr. Mandy here, our career coordinator. He's also the best. He's gotten me, right now he's trying to help me get an internship. He also works with the mentors, and he also helps. He has SOS, which is Students of Service, and he gives opportunities for kids like me to be able to help my community and gives a platform for it. We have these things called Make It Happens, where we are the leaders of groups for community services around San Antonio. I've gotten to lead with some of my friends or even meet kids at other CAS schools through other activities, and I've gotten to help um, people that I got to see different experiences, and it's really eye-opening. And I think the best thing to kind of round it all out that CAST does is they really just give you real world opportunities and just enlighten you on different sides of the spectrum. And from there, for at least me, it's so much easier to now know what career path I want to take because I've gone in all these different directions, and I can judge off of what I've experienced so far in my 3 years.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Michael. Like that, that shares a lot of like specific information. So I hope that like families listening to this, and hopefully maybe some eighth graders out there who are thinking about where to apply, to high school, that they can take some information from what Michael said, and think about it. Like things that are important about Cass schools is these, right? Like each school has its own pathway. So I want to be sure and ask the other folks like which pathways they chose and what's available at their campus. Um, and then, like Michael mentioned, like that Amir Samandi, coordinates these like service activities, the internships, the relationships with mentors, and that's giving you exposure to a lot of different potential things and helped you make a better plan about what you want to do. And then that's really cool about Trinity University and getting able to study math with a math professor at Trinity University. Like that's a great opportunity. That there's these partnerships with universities that open new opportunities. So thank you, Michael. So what I want to do is turn to the other students and give them a chance. What I want to ask all of y'all is just to remind us which campus you're at, and then what pathways are available at that campus, and which pathways you've chosen. So let me ask Xitlali to go ahead and talk about her campus.
Yes, so I am in CASTEM. CASTEM, of course, it stands for Centers of Applied Sciences and Technology in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. Of course, to be honest, I did not choose to be in CASTEM. My mom secretly signed me up to be in CASTEM. But in the long run, I'm going to have to thank her because I am enjoying it so much. And currently, I am in the engineering pathway. So I've been doing a few internships, following up with engineering, architecture, job shadowing days, even with Boeing. We did a job shadowing day with Boeing, talking about aerospace engineering before.
That's really cool. Let's see. So at CASTEM, you're located on the southwest side of San Antonio, and so that's sort of in the same part of town where I guess Port San Antonio, right? So that's where Boeing is
Yes.
located. Yeah.
Yes.
Um, well, that's cool. So, do you want to share more about the Boeing experience, or are there other sort of hands-on experiences that you've had that you felt like were especially meaningful about like being part of CASTEM?
Yes. So again, when I first joined CASTEM, my mom secretly signed me up. I did not want to be here. I actually wanted to be an artist. But I took like classes, right? I was very good in school, so I passed my classes. I ended up passing the engineering test, and my teacher told me, "Why don't you stay in engineering?" Mr. Quintana told me, "Why don't you stay in the engineering pathway?" And I thought, sure, why not? So our next year, we were doing a job shadowing day and to a certain job, right? Engineering went to the Boeing aerospace. They were studying aerospace engineering. We got to go. We got to see the a new plane model that they were building. They got to tell us about the dangers, of having to build one and what they have to look into to make sure that the plane is safe to fly, right? And they also let us walk into a plane. It was really cool, and it was hollow inside. Everything was not. It was built right. It was like a cage, but at the moment they let us all get in there, and they told us that about 300 people could fit in there. 300 people could fit. It was that big. It was huge. Um, Not only that, but one of my teachers, Miss Medina here at CASTEM, she encouraged me to stay in robotics because we had a robotics class, and she told me, "Why don't you stay for robotics? Why don't you join robotics?" I've been in robotics for 4 years now, straight. And I've been in SA Best Robotics. I've soon will be starting Vex Robotics over again, and we also participate in Technology Student Association competitions, which also feature Vex Robotics. And that's really cool. That's most of the hands-on activities I've done here at CASTEM. And of course, there's more. There's also, we're going to be doing electric car. This is going to be my first year doing the electric car. And as well as Technology Student Association, which is more than just robotics. There's even fashion design and there's debating. It's not all engineering. And that's what I really like about this school. It's not all engineering.
Right, right. Wow, those sound like great opportunities. Yeah, and like you said, so I think yeah, STEM may be broader than people realize, but that's great that you like did well on the engineering test and got to keep pursuing it, and that you get these like hands-on learning experiences with the robotics and the other activities. That must have been really something to go to Boeing and actually get to go inside a plane that's not finished yet.
Yes, it was amazing. And not only that, but in the summer of my junior year, before coming in as a senior, I ended up going to doing an internship with the city of San Antonio with landscape architects. That's when I realized that I really like architecture. Maybe not landscape architecture, but I like architecture, and I plan on pursuing my career as an interior designer.
Wow, that's really cool. Wow, yeah, what a great opportunity to experiment with different things and realize like the range of things that are out there. I think I was it wasn't until maybe after college that I started to realize more that like there were more things you could do with your degree
Oh,
than
yes.
what I knew initially. So I think it's great to be already thinking about those things when you're in high school. Okay, so I'm going to put Joseph on the big screen here. And so Joseph, and I know I've been asking Michael and Xitlali about pathways, but at ALA it's a little different, right? Because it's a pre-K through 12 academy, and
Yes.
it's not so much career oriented as CAS schools. Although like all the programs are meant to get kids college ready,
Hmm.
but it's more like project based learning. So if you can kind of talk about what do students at ALA do?
Yes. So again, I'm Joseph Guerrero. I'm an 11th grader at ALA, and something I'd like to highlight is whenever most people start at ALA, they don't really have a specific like area they're interested in. Like the ALA just offers just a wide variety of classes and like curriculums that it really allows each student to pursue their own learning pathway. So we don't have specific pathways here like the other cast schools, like an engineering pathway or like a robotics pathway. But here at ALA, every student, our teachers support us and they get to know us. That's one thing I really like about ALA is I have very, very good relationships with all my teachers, and I'm not like nervous around my teachers and I'm not like scared of them. Like the teachers are really cool, they're really down to earth, and they are good at what they do and good at what they know, and they really engage us and make sure that everybody understands and that like nobody's like left behind. And so whenever I actually started ALA the first year of its founding, so I was actually in sixth grade. So this was all the way back in 2016. So I've been around for a while, and I've got to see it develop and grow and become this really like basically like a hub of learning. I like to think of it that way because we're actually on the Fox Tech campus, and we have three different schools on this campus. So we have Cass Tech on this campus, we have ALA, and we have Fox Tech. And even within those campuses, if one school offers something that your school doesn't, there's a way for you to like take those classes. So I know multiple people that are taking advanced math classes, and they're doing them with Fox Tech. And I really think that it really it increases the opportunities. So whenever I started here, it was kind of like a I don't know like an experiment, and there are these teachers who had like a common ideal in mind, and they were like, we want to make a school that like truly like engages students to their core. We want these students to like feel like they understand things, and we do that mostly through project-based learning. We call them PBLs, and we do a lot of PBLs. We do a lot of projects, and we have like a lot of programs. And a good thing about the school is that it is pretty small, but that means, and also because of the school is young, you have the opportunity to start new programs, to start things, and to like be a trailblazer. So um, because of the position I've been put in, I've been kind of forced to like sort of create things and learn things, and it's been a very good experience, like growing with my fellow peers, because a lot of us have been here since the first year. We only had maybe about like a few kids every year into our class. So there's that really tight knit like familiarity with our students that I really enjoy. And so in my freshman year, I mean, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I knew I was interested in art. I knew I was interested in design and, maybe possibly a STEM career. And I didn't really know. But in one of our art classes, when my teacher, Mr. McQuillan, we did a unit because, so actually in my 8th grade year, something I do like is if you are here for middle school, if you are able to be here for 8th grade, in 8th grade, we actually do take 9th grade classes. So a lot of our kids have gotten extra high school credits, and their transcript starts actually their 8th grade year. So I got to take advanced band in 8th grade. I got to take advanced art in 8th grade, or at least the first art credit for high school in 8th grade. And so even in my 8th grade year, I got to do things like be part of the marching band, and we marched downtown for fiesta. Obviously, this was all before COVID happened, so that was the only opportunity I had to do that. And hopefully soon we're looking to do that this year or possibly next year. Um, but yes, my teacher, Mr. McQuillan, we did a unit in graphic design, and we have a Mac lab, and so we had like Adobe Illustrator downloaded on our computers, and I actually got to like work with that, and I don't know why, but as soon as I like got the hang of the interface, I did not want to stop. I didn't realize that I had this mind that I'm always like analyzing things and looking about spacing and colors and design like that. Um, I even after we finished the unit, I was still doing it on my own time. I was working with that, and that's actually led me because this year I started my internship with the Cast Network actually. So I do have an internship with them, and I'm actually working on designing an ALA high school website. So that is what my internship is right now. So that's what I'm currently working on, and we're kind of building that to be like user friendly and have all of our information on there. And yeah, so I really think that Cast schools, they allow people to have real experiences like. I was telling Eddie earlier that the this school it realizes my education. So a lot of kids, they have an education that they hear things and they see things in a textbook or on a screen, and that's about as deep as it goes. But for me, we get to learn about these things in the real life. We get to see how it applies. Like why does this matter? Like why is this relevant? Um, uh, and that's what I really love about being here at ALA. That it bridges the gap between reality and school, and it makes me passionate about what I do. And so, though I'm not entirely sure what I do want to do in the future, I do know I love graphic design. I love web design, and yeah, that's my experience.
Yeah, well, Joseph, thank you. That's a great like by sharing all those stories. I think you showed a really good picture about how ALA lets your curiosity run with lots of different projects, and it's not structured the same way as the other CAS schools in terms of they have specific pathways and specific partnerships. But you're still doing things really hands on, and it's opening your mind and getting you thinking about the future in a really positive way. So thank you. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to switch this around again. And then, Michael, since I kind of put you on the spot first, asking you about like CAT schools, but I was wondering if you could like comment more specifically about like the business pathway that you're on, and if you have like another like anecdote or story that you want to share that's like an example of something you're doing that's related to the business pathway.
So, as I talked earlier about the cybersecurity business and user experience, and I think so for those who user experience was a completely new thing to me when I came to Cast. It has to do a lot with psychology and how someone reads what you're giving them, whatever service or whatever website. Like Joseph mentioned, how they're experiencing that and how you can kind of tailor it to like different customers. That's actually another thing. My freshman year, like I said, I took all three, and I mentioned I'm in the business pathway, but actually I was so indecisive about which one to pick, and I had high school credits, so I had a free period. I actually take UX and I take business. So it's funny. I guess a real story I can say on that is, I have my business classes that are very, analytical and Actually, my freshman year, I got to do taxes. I got to
Oh,
have adults, just random adults I did not know. They came in and we took a certification. Oh yeah, Vita, and we got and I got to do taxes, which is so like to me that's crazy that I did taxes for an adult. Um, and so I guess that's more the business side, the UX side. Actually, this year I'm taking a psychology class at UTSA that has been very like UX. Your first 2 years is very like different websites, and we still link in. I'm not in the cybersecurity, but we still link in. Partially the cybersecurity part of it. Um, it was kind of just websites. This year has been so important though because with taking that psychology class at UTSA, it really just opened your mind. It opens at least opened my mind about how even things like colors, right? Colors and what you put on your website that can influence someone. How you speak, just the way you word your sentence can completely persuade someone, one way or another. Um, and so I guess speaking on both sides of that, it's very interesting even for me to be able to. And I always have people who are like, oh, why didn't you just pick one? Or like, it's too much. Why don't you just pick one? I think I stick with it because it's actually in some way it's easier because I can use the things that I've learned in UX, I can use in my business projects, and the more analytical side I can use in the UX, to better understand. And so I think that obviously, again, I'm not in cybersecurity, but it's so interesting to me how all three of our pathways, um, while some kids think that, oh, I'm just going to go to this one path and you'll just be doing that your whole time at Cast, it's really not. Like, if anything, it's all just a central thing, and yet you still end up learning bits and pieces of everything. I've My business teacher I've had for 3 years now. He was an amazing teacher. He actually just left. It was his last day yesterday, and he was an amazing teacher. I have my Microsoft certification. I'm now Microsoft certified. I am also working right now to get my Photoshop certification. And so I think it's just opportunities like that. I can't even really pinpoint one specific opportunities because there's so many things to me at least of just like, taxes and certifications and all of that just going. And when I tell people about it, I have friends that go to, public schools all around San Antonio, and I'll be like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing, or, oh yeah, I just did taxes. And they'll be like, what? Like, why are you doing that? And all that. And they don't, it's not, they don't believe it. They just think that, like, how are you doing that in high school? Um, and so I think the one thing I do want to like take away from this is that, um, coming to Cast Tech, it can be a little intimidating at first your freshman year because it's like this big decision in your mind where it's like, okay, I have to pick one way to go. And how do I know if I'm even going to like it, right? Because then once you're in it, it's like I'm kind of stuck with it. And I guess my thing on saying it is that that was my biggest problem. I was like, what if I make the wrong decision? What if I choose the wrong thing? And then the rest of my high school career is just like wishing I had picked another one. That is like the biggest, like, I do not worry about that a single thing now because honestly, you learn everything. And I have a mobile apps class now I had coding, at the beginning of the year. Now we're doing a Photoshop certification. Um, and so that class especially, ties everything in. And I guess not speaking on the pot, I did want to add this as well. Something that I do find interesting, and I know Joseph can also probably speak on this. So Cast Tech, ALA, and Fox are all on our campus. And that to me personally has been a very as Joseph can tell you, the personalities from each three schools are different. I mean, we're all different, but we just, we had homecoming 2 3 weeks ago, and activities like that where you get to like interchange with all those schools, and you get to meet new kids. I play sports for under Fox, and it's opportunities like that where you don't just get to meet the kids that, oh, I go to Cast Tech, so I need, I kind of have kids around me that are like me. You also get to interact with the other kids on campus like ALA and Fox to get different points of views on, I mean, especially me, coming to this school, that has been, I think, over everything, that has been my biggest accomplishment, is just getting to meet different people and different points of view in life. And again, tying that back to what I said earlier about the UX part of it, when you understand other people's parts and how they grew up and how they, you know, think of things and how they just register things in their mind, that even ties back to how you can tie it into cast as a whole. And in my UX, how can I use how someone else thinks? And now that I know other people's points of view, how can I use that for my product to make it better, to be inclusive for everyone?
Yeah.
So
Those are great interconnections that you're making, like between, right, all the students you're interacting with on the Fox Tech campus, and then your classes. And it's good to know that, like, it sounds like the pathways are very rich with information, but it's not closing you off on one versus the other. So, okay, so I'm going to put Xitlali on the hot seat now, and if you could share about your experiences at Castem, especially things like mentorships, internships, projects, like where you've been able to interact with folks outside of campus, or if there are an example of something where, like, you as a student or you and your fellow students have been able to have a voice in what happens on campus.
Yeah, so I am a cast ambassador here, right? And most of the cast ambassadors here, most of them are girls, right? And we get to do a lot of activities that include girl empowerment, girls in STEM. I actually did girls in STEM for 3 years. I don't remember if it was in a row. No, there was one year that we didn't get to do it because of COVID, but we still got to do one online the next year. And it was amazing because we got to teach little girls, right, from middle school to high school, but most of the ones that showed up were actually in elementary to middle school. It was from elementary to high school. And most of the elementary and middle school students showed up, and one of the activities that they enjoyed the most, because we had drones for global logistics. We had a speaker that would talk about Toyota manufacturing, or how HEB has different careers besides, a bagger or a stalker. There's more to HEB than just that. And well, the part that they liked the most was robotics. They liked working with the robots. They liked learning about the coding, and they liked playing head-to-head games with each other. Yes.
That's it's a school. There's kids on campus. Yeah.
It's the school. Yes.
Yeah.
But I also mentioned that in the summer I did an internship with the city of San Antonio. I would actually take a via bus in the morning all the time just to get downtown. And I would have to go to the fourth floor. I would have to clock in, sit down in my chair, and then what is there to do, right? I did a lot of, I would look up addresses on Google Earth, and I had to look through this grid to make sure that the areas were safe because of asbestos, right? Chemically hazardous areas. Also, we got to go to parks, previous parks, as well as to be built parks. There's going named Jupe Manor that will be built soon enough. They're barely getting on the drafting stages of that. And then there is anybody familiar with Pearsall Park?
Oh yeah.
Right,
My
Pearsall
kids
Park.
love that one. Yeah, especially the
Yes.
splash pad.
Yes, that's their biggest project. Their biggest, and they're so proud of that project. And they like looking at that project as their role model. That's what they want for all the other parks. So in Martin Luther King Park, they're actually adding a splash pad on there. Yes. And we got to work with the landscape architects a lot. They would take us everywhere. They would have us look over the plans. They would tell us, what do you think about this? Or here, try to calculate the elevation of this, right? Because most of the areas were um, untouched areas, right? Untouched from humanity. So it was very natural ground. And they had to know how to cut it so the elevation was pretty set. It was pretty straight. And,
Yeah.
and it's
Wow.
amazing. It's amazing to do that here at CASTEM. They give you multiple opportunities. As a senior, right? First graduating class of CASTEM here. Yeah. What is it? We're doing a capstone project right now, and that's going to be a project that we are interested. Something that we have been wanting to show since the beginning of CASTEM. and one of my main things is going to be it's going to be an architectural project. I'm going to keep it a surprise. It's going to be an architectural project, and I'm going to design my own place, right? And again, it's really amazing because not only do they let you do that, but also in one of our classes, they are allowing us to use our third and fourth period to go out and work, because we are partnering up with Caterpillar, right? Cat, and also HEB, and Southwest has this job opening as a data analyst here, and you actually get paid. Right, so here we have a lot of opportunities. They let us use our third and fourth periods to go out and work, and soon enough, I'm going to be going to a job fair for HEB, and we've already had interviews actually with HEB, Frostbank, and CPS, and hopefully I get hired soon. So yeah, no, here at CASTEM there are multiple opportunities, and for a new school, I'm honestly really surprised, and I'm proud of CASTEM as a whole.
So you're forgiving your mom for signing you up.
Oh yes, I'm going to be thanking my mom very soon.
That's really cool. That's an amazing set of partners. I mean, you just rattled off like some of the biggest, most sought after employers in San Antonio, and you're getting to talk to them, even while you're still in high school. That's really cool. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna put Joseph on the hot seat. And Joseph, you already talked about like some of the projects, and you talked about since like you joined CAST, or I'm sorry, you joined ALA in 6th grade when the school first opened, and so now you're an 11th grade. Like you've been there, kind of shaping things and coming up with activities. So if you can give examples of ways that the students have spoken up and kind of had a voice in how things work, or maybe share more about like partnerships or projects that you've especially enjoyed.
Yes. So one thing I did mention earlier was that I really like how students get to start things, and so one of those things that kind of falls within that group is um, we actually got to start a yearbook club, because some students were like, well, like I mean, like we're supposed to be like a high school, like we want to like have like this like a yearbook. And I guess that kind of like one of my close friends, she was like starting, she wanted that to start. And so we were like, well, who do we talk to about that? So we kind of went around, we talked to administration, we talked to the librarian, who's usually our head of like tech, and we managed to like get it up and running. And we got approved by the district for to be using like tree ring, and we have our whole entire group of students that also want to be a part of this and want to design something that's nice, like a memory of like your high school years. And it can be something as simple as that. And so right now for the yearbook club, I am the co-founder because I founded with my friend, and also the head of design, and just like an editor for that, so that everybody's doing a lot of everything, and you can create your own experiences. Like we're just a group of students who we have like a thing in common. We wanted to see this happen, and we made it happen. And I think that's having the opportunity to do that. Like other schools, they won't like let you do something. There's like a lot of restrictions, but like since our teachers are like already like we already know what kind of school this is, what kind of environment we're trying to cultivate. They're like, yes, like make it happen. We want to see this happen. If you think you can do it, then like go ahead and like here's the opportunity to do that. And so I really like how ALA really does cultivate that kind of mindset. And so some other things that we've been doing this year. This year they started a new program, and we actually partnered with an organization called Culturingua, and we actually did a virtual exchange class with students from Libya. So that is an Arab country in North Africa. And we actually got to work on a team of 2 American students and 2 Libyan students. And we had to come up with a social enterprise project based on one of UN's, their SDG goals. And so my group, we got quality education. And so every Wednesday we would meet up, and our coordinator, Nader Medawi, he would teach us like a lesson on something like so our final project was going to be a presentation, and we're going to present to these international judges. And so that was our goal. And so over the course of around like 10 weeks this semester, each week we would he would add in a new thing. So we had like like presentation skills, like how to work with a language barrier. So like these students, their first language is Arabic. And so this was also a good opportunity for them. They're students at the Gifted Center in Benghazi, Libya, and they also got an opportunity with us to like learn English from native English speakers in America. And I really think that's like such a cool opportunity. And it was funny because before the school year started, we went to like a student orientation night, and we got our schedules. And I see this one, and it says special topics, and I was really confused because I guess that was the way that they put it on our schedule. And so I like went up to one of the administrators, and I was like, Miss Fabi, like what does special topics mean? And she was like, oh, they're starting this new class with like students from Libya, and you're going to be like working on a project together. And she was like, we're trying to think of students to put in it, and we immediately thought of you, so we just put you in it. And I thought that was funny that my administrators already knew that. And so they put me in that class, and I've loved it. We recently just like finished that up. We wrapped that up, and it was kind of like a competition. So I think there were only like 3 schools in the whole entire country participating in this opportunity. And those 3 schools are here in San Antonio. So I think it was Edison, some other school, and ALA doing that, having that opportunity. And I think it was really cool. And so though my group did not win the competition, because there was like a lot of like really, really good presentations, really good entries, we did get second place in that. And I do think that having the opportunity to like communicate with people from the other side of the globe, like it was just like nothing can compare to that. And I think it was just really fun working with them, designing a social enterprise. We actually made our idea was to build a YouTube channel for students in Arab countries, at our age, like high school, like middle school, high school level. And these students wanting to, it was kind of to eliminate a lot of the problems faced with the language barrier. If they want a higher education to come to an English speaking country like America, and they want that opportunity to go to a school here, but they feel held back by that language barrier. And so our plan was to make a YouTube channel and to, like really reach out to those students. And us as being high school students ourselves, like we are able to understand the experience. And I think we're still thinking of like trying to like start that. We actually had a speaker come, Ryan Saltz, and he works with Launch SA, and he talked about how he helps students like us and tons of people all across like San Antonio, start their idea, whatever it may be. Like they help us start it. And I do think that's a really cool opportunity. And we might be doing that in the future to make that a reality. And I just really like that mindset of just making things happen. Like you don't have anything holding you back. And so, yeah.
Yeah, what a great project, because right, the students from Libya, getting to work with and speak with native English speakers, but you all learning to work cross culturally with students who have a different native language and have a different set of assumptions about how things work. And yeah, I'm a big. I mean, I remember when San Antonio Charter Moms was just an idea, and now we're almost up to the 10-year mark. And it started out really small, but we've really grown. So yeah, I encourage you. Yeah, the Launch SA has great resources, and I'll be checking in with Eddie and see how you all are doing. I think that's a great idea. But those are really good examples, like talking about Yearbook Club and about Culturingua. Like it gives. I think those are good examples of what ALA is doing in terms of it's a relatively small school, so everybody knows everybody. Your teachers know, like, oh yeah, let's put Joseph in this, right? Yeah. And and it's sort of this culture of like, if a bunch of students get together and have an idea, and it fits there's a good purpose to it, right? You guys are practicing teamwork, and you're practicing your graphic design, your technology skills. and creating a valuable product that helps, keep memories for all the students, then they'll find a way to say yes. And how wonderful is that? Like, it's been a tough couple of years where a lot of things we wanted to do, we couldn't do. And so anytime you can find a chance to say yes, that's a positive thing.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we have a comment from my friend Deanna. She says, "Love Cast Tech." So, um, my son used to go to school with her son, and then now he's a ninth grader at Cast Tech. So go, Logan. Oh, fun. Okay, well, this has been a great conversation. I want to give each of y'all a chance to maybe share a final thought, and then also like encourage any like students or maybe any eighth graders who are thinking about applying, or any like families who are watching this and are excited about Cast Tech. So how about I'll go to maybe Michael. You can kind of offer like a final thought, and then I've got my banners ready if we want to tell people what to take action.
Cool. I think just to keep it short, real quick, we've all talked about our experiences. Under CAS schools, there's so many different places you can go with it. Obviously, I'm going to be biased towards CAS Tech, obviously from being here. So I think the enrollment was January 14th. In the date to
Oh,
stop.
that's right. Yep, I was get that banner ready. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like hopefully people can like. I mean, the application's open now, so people can go apply today. But in order to get it in before the lottery, January 14th is the date.
Yes. So
Okay.
just again to keep it short, come to CAS Test. We've all laid out. I know all CAS schools are amazing. Just really remember when you're looking into them, the opportunities that it can give. I think compared to other schools.
Cool. Okay. Xitlali, you want to take the next, share a final thought and give people advice how to apply?
Yes, okay. So for CASTEM, anybody can apply as long as you go to the CASTEM website. We are a part of Southwest, of course, so you can look us up through the Southwest website as well. One of my final thoughts, something I've been wanting to say to anybody that enters CASTEM is that it's not only STEM, okay? Of course, there are multiple pathways. It's not just engineering, and there are multiple classes, multiple clubs. Also, like in ALA, you can start your own thing. We have our yearbook club, we have our anime club, we have book club, we have film club, multiple clubs. And then, of course, as long as you're active and as long as there's a lot of communication, you will always find a way to get what you want and get what you need.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Xitlali. Okay, so we send it back to Joseph to kind of close us out. So, a final thought and advice for students and families who are looking to apply.
Yes. So again, you can apply to ALA. You can apply from the SAISD website, from CAS schools. And one thing I'd like to say about ALA is a lot of people have this misconception. It's only elementary and middle school, but it is an academy. It's K through 12. Our high school classes are really like rich with our curriculum. We have like lots of advanced classes and really, really good opportunities, a really good tight-knit community, and teachers that care. And again, I really encourage anybody to go to ALA if you feel like maybe you don't really know where you're going, or like I feel like ALA is kind of like a pathfinder, and it'll help you like find out what you were interested in. So like we have internship programs, mentorship programs, and these will help you like find experiences and even like field trip experiences that will help you find out like what am I interested in, like what do I want to do like with the next step in my life, and yeah. So again, ALA, you can go to the SAISD website, CAS schools, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much. I think there's no better way for folks to learn about the Cat Schools Network and Advanced Learning Academy than from hearing from students who are living it. And I hope this is persuasive to some of the eighth or ninth graders out there who are trying to figure out what's next, and now they know about these great options through Cat Schools. So thank you so much, this wonderful student team, all these ambassadors, and thanks for sharing about your campuses. Okay,
Oh,
bye-bye. Oh,
oh, I was gonna say, just one thing I forgot to add. You can take in-person tours now at Cass Tech
ah,
schools
that I'm
or
Michael, I'm
Cass.
glad you mentioned that. Yeah, because I know, well, SASD and Southwest have been very cautious about COVID safety, but getting to see at Cass School, I've been on campus at Cass Tech, and it's really impressive. So, and I'm sure the other campuses are impressive as well. So that's a great way, especially too, since like I think by eighth and ninth grade, like students should have a role in picking where they go to school, and I think like the students should be part of the tours too, not just the families. So, all right. Well, thanks. Yeah, and then I'll just mention again, January 14th is the deadline, but the applications are open today. So you just get that done. Okay. Thanks, y'all. Take care.